Okay, so looking at this distribution worksheet, we're going to look really quickly at how you can check your answers or kind of cheat your way through these problems when you're solving. Even with distribution, the main catch is that you have to be able to plug it into your calculator correctly. So if we look at any of the problems up top, the examples we've gone over, you can always go back and check them in your calculator. If you wanted to, your variables are just always going to be x's no matter what they give you in the problem. So like here, this problem number 1, we would type in 2 parentheses 7 plus 3x instead of the t, close your parentheses, and then in y2, so first off you're in y equals, sorry, so you go to y equals and type these in. In y2, you put in the other side of the equation, so we'd have negative x. Again, replacing our variables with x's. From here you could hit graph, and you'll wait a second for both of the lines to show up. Now you want to know where these two functions, these two equations are exactly the same. So on your screen you can see that they meet up at this one spot. You can find that in your calculator again if you hit second trace, and you're going to look for where they meet, where they intersect, so 5. Then it's going to ask you for the first curve. So if you see, let's see, where's our cursor? Sometimes your little flashing cursor will show up, but you can move that. You're going to hit enter. It's asking for the first curve, hit enter. Second curve, it should jump to the second line, hit enter, and then it wants to know if you want it to guess where they meet, hit enter again, and then it gives you the intersection point of -2, 2. So here what you're looking for is that x value. Remember we replaced our variable here with x in y equals, so we were trying to find that x value. So in this case, problem number 1, the answer would be x equals -2. So again, the steps in your calculator, you go to, we'll write this down. So we're going to write down the steps really quickly. So take a minute, pause the video, and write down these steps. Again, in the calculator you go to y equals, the left side goes in y1, the right side's going to go in y2. You can hit graph, second trace, 5, and then enter, enter, enter. Then from there you're just picking up that x value. So pause it, write those down, and then we're going to look at problem 4, which is a little more difficult but can still be done. So problem 4 again, we would type in 1 minus 3 parentheses x minus 8, again replace your variables with x. On the other side we'd have 3x, so then I'm going to hit graph, wait for them to show up. Then I'm going to hit second trace, I'm going to pick 5 for where they meet, and then I'm just going to go through my enter, enter, enter. Once it does that, it gives me an intersection point of 4.1666667. So again, on your paper, sometimes if you're given answer choices, they might be in fraction form, so you just have to convert the fractions to know if it meets that decimal.